Once the house is set onto its new foundation, after all the lot preparations were done, getting utilities brought onto the building, and then kind of starting to repair the damages that have been done from water damage, sagging foundations from its old location, are kind of where we start with this. We have several rooms to replace all the floor joisting and all the tongue and groove in, certainly tying together all the joists in the other areas, and probably putting some supports in to kind of shorten up the span and getting rid of some of the kind of flex or bounce in the floor. It'll also require new cabinets to be made, and there's an old doorway in one of the rooms that needs to be closed up, closets to be framed in, a header to be put in the downstairs, what will be now the bedroom. We kind of moved a couple of the rooms, or reassigned a couple of the room locations, just to make it a little bit more modern or user friendly for the future. Our view with the property once it's done, or kind of what we hope to make here, is a home that when you walk into it, it has HVAC, so you have air conditioning and central heating and all that, so certainly all those comforts, but we wanted it appointed where visually when you look at it, the house has kind of a vintage appeal to it. Vintage furnishings, the cabinets don't look too modern, the countertops will be butcher block, so when you kind of look at it, it's just got this warmth and kind of homey feel to it. All the colors of the walls will all be painted period colors. There'll be painted floors with the living room and the dining room will be shellacked, and there'll be area rugs under all the furnishings and beds and stuff. So when this is all done, you walk into this house and it just kind of transports you. It takes you back in time to what you would expect this house to look like, kind of in that turn of the century to 20s period of time. We're not going so far that we restore old appliances and stuff, but we're also trying to when we put appliances in, make them not too obvious or stand out too modern looking. And then it gives us an opportunity with this property to use it for kind of our initial thoughts were for traveling nurses. This is a house or property that is literally just a block and a half from the hospital. The traveling nurses have a hard time coming in and finding a lodging solution that is available for them long enough where they don't have to jump around from place to place, and long-term rentals don't want to do something just for a couple months. So I think they would be an excellent fit to be able to offer the home to, where they can come in, they take care of it. We can this property would continue to serve the community for that, or a situation where as if somebody needed a few month stay, whether they were here for contract work or whatever, this gives us some flexibility. It'll have 3 bedrooms, a couple bathrooms, so you could bring your family or kids or a husband or wife or a pet or whatever. So certainly by having a property like this that's you want to keep it kind of low impact on it. You aren't trying to fill this thing 365 days of the year. That's not its goal. The goal is just to be able to have a property that you can offer for people who are looking for a kind of a medium-term rental solution. Now that the house is moved and it's on its foundation kind of permanently here, the attention's turned towards the inside. There's still lots of cosmetics to do on the outside of peeling back the layers, but the inside's now winter's amongst us, and it's just time to get the inside caught up to the rest of the project. So in studying the house, we felt that it would be best served to move what was the downstairs bedroom back to where the old bathroom and rear utility room once was, and bring the bathroom to what was the bedroom, because it was now the smallest room in the downstairs. All of these are going to have, with the exception of dining room and living room, everything's going to have painted floors with area rugs. So, it's basically just trying to make everything look uniform, having material made to keep wide plank floors consistent throughout the house. The laundry will be taken care of basically by a stacked unit and a small kind of broom vacuum closet that will now be in the bedroom, but annexed off to the side. The downstairs will actually have a proper closet, so we'll end up with a bigger bedroom, proper closet, a nice stacked washer dryer with a little utility closet next to it, and a really useful bathroom that'll incorporate a pedestal tub and a kind of vintage looking toilet and a clawfoot bathtub, the drop curtain, kind of a rain head. All the plumbing we're doing in copper, but it'll all be exposed, brushed and lacquered, so there'll be, you can see how the house had layers brought into it when plumbing was introduced. Bathrooms were introduced, no longer using like a remote outhouse. The advantage of this property, when it's said and done, will be we're going to have all brand new appliances, all brand new utilities, and a beautiful old house that's been structurally upgraded, put on a wonderful foundation. It should be able to last for, hopefully a century plus more again. We've also, in the kitchen, we're building brand new cabinets for those, keeping them fairly simplistic as they should probably be for that time period. It's almost probably hard. If it was a Grand Victorian, probably have very nice cabinetry and stuff, but from what we see, most of these are actually on the rather simplistic side, and I think it's probably almost hard to buy such simplistic cabinetry today. Most of these houses had like a Hoosier cabinet or something like that. Didn't really have big cabinet spaces, so we're building brand new cabinets for it, all with proper wood, so not using particle board or anything like that. It'll have butcher block countertops, like red cherry butcher block countertops going down, and a farm sink, new appliances in it all, painted brown floors with area rugs to, take up the kind of trafficked area. You almost kind of look forward to when there's a few chips and worn spots through the paint that shows that the house has been used and loved. I'm trying to not overdo every finish. When you see old shellac, it kind of has already taken all these years to kind of change, oranges up a little bit, and it gets this really nice hue to it, and I want to keep that in the property. I don't want every finish to be where someone could actually look at it and think, you built it brand new. I want there to be a balance where you look at it and it just looks lived in and maintained. So that's our biggest probably obstacle when you do these things, trying to find a balance where you don't make something look so good that something that's original no longer looks good in its own merit. You kind of almost welcome the first chip or the first crack in something, because then you stop being anxious about it happening, and now you get to just enjoy it. And I'll probably have to just put a dent in something just to say it's done, and then we can just enjoy it from there on out. The living room and dining room will get all the hardwood floors. Those have their original hardwood floors. Those will get sanded and shellacked, so those will still be the only true kind of see-through finished wood. Everything else again will be painted. The staircase is all basically redone, just have to finish the floors in the entryway, and then the upstairs the rooms are just getting coats of paint. Floors have been a couple layers of added on floors have been pulled up, and nothing overdone, nothing sanded all the way through. We try to really keep it the minimal, that kind of minimalistic original interpretation of what that house was. When you walk into it, from the outside, it's got kind of a cute picture to it. I mean, it's not a Queen Anne, very grand Queen Anne by any stretch of the means, but it's certainly a quaint little house from the outside. But when you walk into the entry and you see all that shellacked wood, and you see the stained glass windows and the simplistic lights, and the period wall colors, it just has such a nice balance. You kind of walk from one room to another, and you watch the colors play off of each other, from kind of changing from for example, the dining room to the living room to the front entryway. I mean, you go from a yellow to kind of a burnt peach to a light sky blue, all within a matter of a couple feet. But when you look at the stained glass windows, you actually see those colors all in that spectrum. So, a lot of attention has been paid to finding colors that, work off of each other, but also work off of the windows, because the windows are certainly a highlight of that house. When we're all done, I think we'll probably, our goal is to sleep in this house 1 year on the day that it moved. And there will still be plenty to do with it. But what I'm hoping is that the entire property is finished within the 2-year mark. Garage put in the back, all landscaping done, trees starting to look a little more mature. So that's kind of our goal, with all of our decoration done and have it look like a wonderful place. And 2 years seems like a long time to do a project like that. But looking back and thinking that, in a 2-year span, we picked the house up from a crumbling foundation and saved it from being demolished, and put it on basically a built-up trailer underneath it, and that gets moved 0.7 miles across town, set onto a new foundation with all new utilities on a wonderful lot. And then basically in the matter of those 2 years, working on average 2 days a weekend on that property, almost completely single-handedly, we have replaced all of the structural work on it, all the cosmetic work, repaired all the outside ailments that it's had, and had to, rebuild a porch back on the front. And, the list goes on and on. It sounds so simple to look at it. Then you kind of look at it and think, kind of each room is months worth of work, from stripping up 2 and 3 layers of flooring. There's times when you sit there and think, walking, you just pull up some carpet. Then it's, carpet, and then it's linoleum, and then it's hardwood. But I guess to surmise, it'll be a 2-year project when it's done. I would do another one in a heartbeat if given an opportunity. The project has not just saved a property, but it's also introduced me to so many new friends and so many people that I didn't know before. So you kind of save a house and build a whole friend network. It's kind of the ultimate do-good story. But that's it. Our first year anniversary is coming rapidly here, and we'll enjoy a night in it, and hopefully we'll do the same thing at the 2-year mark when absolutely everything's completely done on it, and drive into its new garage and sit on the back and barbecue or something like that. But that's it. It's been an incredible ride, and look forward to the next adventure.